It's World Water Day and farmers are still soaking in the recent bout of rainfall which brought a break in a months-long drought that's been ravaging parts of the island. But for some, a few days of rainfall has done little to lift the heavy hand of the dry spell. So, this evening, let's go inside the drought as our reporter Krista Campbell takes on a primetime news in focus.
Local meteorologists put Jamaica's yearly dry season from December to April, but some farmers argue they've been feeling the effects since last November.
So the worst I've seen in a long time. What 10 years now since I drought here?
In St. Thomas, some residents have it harder than others.
In all elevated areas that is served by Water Commission, them don't get water, period.
From 2020, no water. Whenever we get a little water, it comes down the road. Come up my way.
When you have an extraordinary natural phenomenon like we are having now, it creates a real problem for us to be able to sufficiently respond.
Communication and Public Affairs Manager at the National Water Commission, NWC, Charles Buchanan, adds that it's technically and financially harder to run pipelines in some rural areas because of terrain and the distance between houses. But residents in elevated St. Thomas communities lament they're paying dearly.
I'm jumping you see right here. Like every other week, I have to find $4,000 to fill all of them.
It costs me $11,000 to fill the 2 black tank, to drum them. We have chicken we feed, we have goat, and we have pigs, and we have 5 picnic we go to school. Plus we have a bathe, and we have a wash.
Sometimes you rinse it out and they might pull a soap water because they don't have sufficient water to rinse out the soap water of the clothes then.
You can't tell when last bathe in my shower. I be out the door, and we have to find river up the road because I have car. Some of the time I drive go wash.
Mr. Buchanan says the NWC's billing cycle reflects charges for water used up to 3 months before the date on the bill. But if there's still an error in charging for water not supplied, affected customers should have it resolved with a customer care representative at the parish office. In the meantime, as the need for water grows and availability remains a challenge,
Persons like in Smithfield that operates on shift, where one will go to sleep while one sit and watch and wait for the water to trickle through the pipe. The residents are now forced to use the untreated water that goes to Kingston by tapping into the line in the hills. If it wasn't for that, Bull Bay would be scorched.
If persons tap into the network, they drain water from the network, so the water you need to be able to supply others at the end doesn't get there. It also means that they're taking water that is not yet treated.
Until now, nobody fell ill from the water because it's coming from the head. So it seems to be somewhat pure to a level.
But Mr. Buchanan explains that the actions of a few persons can affect many others.
It causes damage to the infrastructure, the network. The pipeline might not be able to function in the way it was designed.
Right now, Krista, what should we expect in part 2 of this report?
Thanks, Giovanni. Now, in part 2, we'll look at the impact of the drought on farmers, specifically those in the breadbasket parish of St. Elizabeth, and the possible fallouts at the market if the dry spell continues. Despite that, though, some farmers have been reaping like it's the rainy season. How did they do it? Tune in tomorrow to find out. Giovanni, it's back to you.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Janella.
To other news.